Hey y'all, we're back. Technical difficulties been resolved, hopefully. Hey everyone, thank you for joining Kicking It Raw. Yes. So tonight, we're going to talk about some deep topics tonight. Join us. And right now, we're waiting on our other beautiful ladies to join. Yes, Miss Shania and Miss Danielle. Did we get that request yet? Not sure. There goes one. Cause I've been ignoring. We up all night until the morning. I can't see.
Hey y'all.
Hey beautiful.
Hey.
Yeah, that's better. Right. Look so beautiful.
Thank you. Y'all look beautiful as well.
Oh wait, if you log out, I gotta mess it up. All right, where's beautiful Miss Danielle at? Something's happening. Hopefully tonight, y'all, we can do this show. We are glad to be reunited.
Yes, definitely glad to be back.
And the ladies are all been waiting to come back with some good tea and a good topic for self-healing and self-love and growth, everyone. So if you're watching from the side view, go ahead and join in. And we just waiting on Miss Danielle. Yeah, I think she's having Yes,
I love the music. Yes. How is everyone doing tonight?
1 second, everybody. We trying. By the way, y'all already know we're usually in person, but me and Miss Lee have not been feeling well, and we will be able to keep y'all in touch and up to date on what happened with us and what was going on. Y'all know we are real. Excuse me, let me turn this down. Y'all know we are very open. We're real and raw about everything that we experience for self-healing and self-growth. So I will let everybody know probably in a few weeks from now what's going on with me, my testimony, what happened, and why we have not been able to be on live in person. And Miss Lee, if you want to talk to them.
Yes, definitely. I would love to share with you guys everything that's been going on with me, my health, my journey. Because like Miss Tamika said, we are real, we are raw, and we love to share what's going on with us. Hey, Miss Danielle.
Hey, beautiful. There we go.
Look at you looking good. Look at
y'all. And lean the phone down some. 1 second. All right. So, like I was saying, we are back, and let's go ahead and get into it. So, y'all already know what it is. It's the ladies that kick it around. I'm Miss Tamika. I'm Miss D.
I'm Miss Danielle.
And I'm Miss Shania.
And y'all already know this is the platform for men and women to come together where we always keep it real and raw, baby. And speaking of real and raw, y'all see that raw gear, baby.
We see that gear.
Get ready, stay tuned.
And if you didn't already know, this is a judgment-free zone. No judgment or negativity will be allowed. If we see it, should be deleted and blocked.
Yes. And here I'm kicking around every other Saturday at 10:30, like tonight. You will see our beautiful faces, and you will also hear us talk about some deep topics and discussions and subject matters that matter to you and to us and to the public. Family development, sex education, politics, generational wealth, you name it. We will always talk about it here on Kicking It Around. Okay?
I mean, you got your one arm, like they always big arm, baby. It's a big arm.
What's going on, Miss D?
It's a big arm. First of all, hey, ladies.
Hey.
Okay, so Miss Danielle, you look beautiful. Miss Shania, you look beautiful. Miss D, you look beautiful.
Yeah, you look beautiful as
Miss
well.
Tamika, you look
I was
beautiful.
going through it. Can y'all tell?
No,
Y'all can't tell, can y'all?
no.
Yeah. Shania, we can't tell you've been going through it either, beautiful. But like I said, we're going to touch base on that and let y'all know our story, our testimony in a few weeks from now once we fully better. But right now, we want to go ahead and get into it. Miss D, what you want to say to them?
Yes. So tonight it will not be no hot tea, but we're gonna have some hot topics for you though.
Yes. And just to let y'all know, like I said, we're usually in person. If you're just joining us, y'all already know we're usually in our platform, real raw, uncut. We kicking it. Y'all know how we do.
So.
Tonight we kicking it too. We just right now, what they say, virtual.
Virtual.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and tell everybody what's been going on lately real quick before we jump into it. First of all, I hope everybody having a great weekend. Stay blessed.
Yes.
And definitely, stay safe out here. It's a lot going on, whether it's your health, whether it's in the community, around the world. Y'all see what's going on. If you don't, you need to stay in tune, wake up, and pay attention. Ms. Danielle, what you got to say to the people?
I just want to say I'm just blessed to have the health that I have and continue to grow and become a more healthier individual, a more lively individual, and just a more well-rounded individual.
Okay.
I love it. Miss Shania, how you feel, baby?
I'm doing really good. Better than I was. I am just thankful to see all of you beautiful ladies' faces tonight and to have a good discussion because I've been missing it.
No, for real. I love it. Miss D.
Yes, I'm just excited. Y'all see, I can't even stop smiling. My cheeks is over here big and swole, and they're starting to hurt from all the smiling. I'm just happy to see all y'all be back actually live, and it just feel like forever. I'm so excited.
Yes, I love it. Anytime I'm with my team, I have the best team in the city. Yes, I'm bragging, baby. I have the best team in the city, and we stick together like glue. And we've been missing each other. Miss Dale was throwing her fish, y'all, because we couldn't give her what she wanted right away. But we made a way, and even though me and Miss Shania is still in our healing process, we still gonna be here for y'all 10 toes.
Period.
Right. Yes.
Yes. So let's go ahead and get into it. I can't really see much. If anybody's on here, hey y'all, we love y'all.
Hey.
And just tune in for tonight. Don't be scared, don't be shy. Let your voice be heard, vocalize your opinion, and let's get into it because this topic is really deep, but it's also gonna open, our views, it's gonna open our minds, and it's gonna help us all grow together.
Yes.
Yes.
So we're gonna go ahead and jump into the first question of tonight.
Well, hold on, Miss D. You gonna tell them the name of tonight's show? Or you just gonna jump on in?
I'm just trying to jump right on in.
Before we get into the first subject matter, let them know what's going on, Miss D.
Yes, but tonight's show is the side of Black culture that's ignored, which is definitely a topic.
Repeat that one more time for him, Miss D.
The side of Black culture that's ignored. It's a long overdue conversation. We still can't pack it all in tonight's conversation, though.
All right, let's get to it.
Yes, tonight the first question is: in 1865, we owned 0.5% of America. In 2020, we own 0.5% of America. Why is that?
All right, I think we can go ahead and get to it and go in order.
Okay.
Sorry, I just realized y'all couldn't even see me. I was out of it. I'm going to go ahead and start first. Of course, 1865, was way beyond our time. And I feel like, just the fact that it's still the same to this day. My answer to that is, why is it? I feel like because the African American culture have not took that stand beyond to try to create something bigger and a bigger vision for us Blacks, or African Americans, I should say. I feel like it's still the same because no one has stood up and stepped out of the box, and no one ever, dropped the knowledge, tried to educate themselves, tried to stand and get, not only lead by example, but actually do and show, and actually give somebody else something that they can, what's the word? Sorry, y'all. Something that the Black culture can look forward to. I feel like it was just like, okay, let me start, but I'm not going to finish. Let me speak on it, but I'm not going to promote it. Let me, it just wasn't put out there the way it should have been. I feel like for us to be at 0.5% at 1865 and still be at the same in year 2022, that shows that it's definitely failure in the Black culture.
That was very well said. I can agree with that.
Thank you.
Me too, definitely with today's society. I'll go next to answer this question.
Okay.
I think when it comes to answering this question, we definitely need to go back and revisit that time frame back in 1865. Around in the 1860s, around 1865, 66. That is when we basically got freed of slaves. The soft laws, and they no longer technically had control of us and could chain us, literally. So back then, that's when the Black codes were made, and the Black codes were basically a way that the American culture, the white culture, can also limit us socially and culturally by placing these laws in hand. So we know that the Black codes back then were set forward to also allow us to rent and own property. However, those laws were put in place from the American white culture to stop us from that. So again, we even though we were technically free according to law, we really weren't free according to law. They had the Jim Crow laws come up. Those, like I said, the black code laws. All of those came into place of blocking us. And I would say that it's still something similar to today, because we all know that it's very hard for minority individuals and colored individuals to get loans, to find financial literacy, and to gain access to all of that. Yes, now we do have access to the internet and to social media where you can easily access things, but also with that, you have to know how to what to type in. A lot of times it takes the right keywords to type in to find the right resources. And if you really don't know what you're looking for, as far as what you need to go to locate those resources, to learn about how to own property or whatever the case may be, or know the it factor, or know someone that does know about that, then it can kind of be hard. So I feel like even though we're not back in 1865 as we were in the past, technically in some ways we are, because we still have blocking roads and things that are stopping a lot of us individuals from owning what we deserve, or what you should deserve to own.
Well said.
Wow,
said.
that was
but
very well said.
I just want to jump in. Well said. Sorry, Miss Shania. I want to jump in and I want to say I agree with you 50-50, Miss Danielle. Because I feel like even though everything you said was very accurate, when does the stand happen? When does the leadership happen? When do, someone that's a minority say, okay, it has to change and it has to start with me? I feel like it's been a lot of excuses and I just can't respect it, but everything you said was very true.
No, I respect what you're saying too, and I also think, and I don't think it's an excuse, because I definitely think as colored and Black individuals that you definitely need to stand up for what you believe that you should have for your family, for yourself, whatever. I also think is that a lot of people are scared to ask for the information or come out to
Right.
like, okay, I need help with this, or because it's not put out there. It's not easily put out there that this person has free financial literacy classes, or
It's
this
not.
person
It's
has
not.
this, and if it is, it costs money. You know, nobody's want to give up information for free. So I think a lot of times it's maybe it can maybe be insecurity or just not knowing where to start. But yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to go ahead, Miss D?
Yes, I agree with both you, Miss Danielle, and Miss Tamika. I think it's a combination. I also think as time goes on, it stems from, you know, slavery, of course, but I also believe it also plays part into the fact of the Black culture is basically also a big percentage of Black culture lives in poverty, or you know, within those range and can't afford. And then on top of that, there's also no financial literacy being taught throughout the generations, nothing about generational wealth, and nobody stresses or teaches the importance of buying land or real estate or, you know, property and things like that. Nobody thinks about that. One, I mean, a lot of people live in poverty and don't have the means to pay for it, and when they do, they're not being taught on how to, like you said, invest or get those resources and things like that to get their credit and things so that they can afford it. And when they do have the money, they're not investing in these things. They're not thinking about it. They think about, of course, buying a home, but they're not thinking about actually buying the land that that home is on, or renting a home or paying for condos. But nobody actually thinks about actually buying that actual land that homes is on and things of that nature. It's not something that's stressed in the Black homes. It's not something that's taught. We're being basically from a young age, each generation is basically being left in the dark about these things. And it's wrong, but at the same time, it's like, can you basically blame the older generation on something that they not even being taught either? It's just basically tricking down where nobody, each generation is being taught or even learning about these things, except for I'm glad that the newer generation and this generation are seeming to be more financial literacy and are actually starting to get that education and being taught or teaching themselves or putting that initiative out here to actually learn that. So hopefully by 2030, those numbers and that percentage is completely different. Finally.
All right. I respect and love
And
everything you just said. I disagree with a few things, but like I said, you made it very clear. Also, Miss D, could you please add me to this live? I would appreciate that. I'm trying to leave a comment and it won't even allow me. Do you mind adding me to this live, please? Tagging me. Thank you so much.
I definitely love your viewpoint as
I'm
well.
not tagged, ma'am. I'm not. She trying to play with me, y'all.
Go ahead.
I definitely love your viewpoint as well, Miss D. As we all know that a lot of everything that we all have said so far is definitely true and accurate. We definitely know that once someone is in poverty, it's very hard for you to come up out of poverty. You know that you have to work 10 times as hard as anyone, period, being a person of color in this world. On top of that, working very hard to come out of poverty. So I think that was a very important statement that you made.
Thank you.
So, you're welcome.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to get tagged on the live. So if you're watching, that's all I'm talking to her about. Miss D, why am I not tagged in my business in our podcast?
I did tag. I tagged all four of us.
Miss D.
I did see your comment, Miss Tamika.
Yeah, but I'm trying to add some information that's very important for the viewers, and I can't add it because she didn't tag me.
That's who we live with.
Yeah, but it usually will say the tag at the top. There's no tag.
I tagged all four of them. You saw me.
I didn't see you, babe, but I would like to be tagged.
I can't do it now to be live.
Okay, I can't drop those jewels I have really important information to put in the chat and I can't even put it in there. It won't let me. So, because I'm not tagged, I do apologize, which is very awkward. I don't know what Miss D done with that, but we're going to move forward and let Miss Lee speak. I'm very upset that I'm not tagged, everyone. But continue.
Okay.
Miss D, can you swipe left on the comments, ma'am?
Swipe left.
Miss Swipe, yeah.
Swipe.
It's not letting me swipe.
It's okay.
It's okay, boo. It's okay. Today is the day we all back in. Tonight is the day we all back in full effect. So you know, a little technical here. But go ahead, Miss Lee.
So I would like to say this, Miss D. I agree with some of the things that you stated. However, I did not agree with everything. I definitely feel like, excuse me, I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. Okay, let me start off with this. Okay, so I feel like African American families honestly have a fraction of wealth that white American families do. That's number one. Number two, I would say that African American families have less access to things. That's knowledge, that's resources, that's help. But I also feel like if we wanted it, we would obtain it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know it may be difficult to find, the right words to research, but I feel like if you really want that, you will go out and find that by any means necessary. If you want to break a generational curse, if your family has a long-standing history of not having any land or any property or any assets, then you would want to break that generational curse, and you would want to go out and find that information so you can break that and you can become a person, an African American person that has generational wealth for your kids and their kids and kids, so forth. I will also say that there is not a lot of, America owned by African Americans, simply because knowledge is not shared within the community. I feel like a lot of the times when someone does make it out the hood or the neighborhood, the community, they're gone. They're not coming back to teach everyone how they made it, because they're like, I'm gone, I made it. Why do I need to tell them that? They didn't get the information like I did. So I feel like, sometimes the Black community can hold itself back. And
my chair.
If we want to do better and to be better, we have to educate within our communities, and we should not have to outsource to other people of color or the white, the white community to get the financial literacy information. That's just how I feel.
I love it. I love it. I love it. First of all, everything you ladies said was nothing but the truth. I feel like everybody's viewpoint, everybody had a positive viewpoint and a very valid viewpoint, and I love everything y'all saying. I feel like the fact that our podcast is not only for self-healing and growth, the things that we talk about that we have never spoken about with our family members, our friends, our mates, whatever, this opens a floor for us to be able to speak vocally and, to not only be judged, but to open up our views on different things. So I appreciate that, ladies, and I'm so thankful for our podcast. But I do want to keep it rolling. There's no comments right now, but as we continue, they might roll in. So we'll go ahead and continue from here. What is the second question of the night?
All right. So I'm going to go ahead with the second question of tonight. It is, what do you feel is the downfall of people of color when it comes to financial literacy and generational wealth?
I guess we'll keep the order going the same. I feel like the downfall is lack of education, lack of support. I feel like with our culture, it's always excuses or it's like a competitive thing. Mm-hmm. I feel like it has to be to a point where everybody is okay to say, I need to make this change. I need to stand up and create this wealth. I need to get this education. I feel like a mind only goes as far as you allow it. If you do not open your mind and you do not explore, then you will get only what you have. I feel like when it comes to the Black culture or minorities, whatever, however you want to word it, it's a lot of excuses and laziness. I feel like we have to do better. And I'm not pointing out one single person. I'm pointing out all of us as one. We have to do better. And I just feel like it's just competitive and lack of knowledge. They're not trying to gain that knowledge. It's like, oh, I know this, so I'm good here. No, you're not good there. It's more that you need to learn. Your family does not have generational wealth yet, and we need to continue to elevate and grow. Baby, it's Black History Month. Let's get it!
Okay.
I agree. Ain't nothing better to get it is doing Black History Month.
Okay.
But it shouldn't only be during Black History Month.
Right.
Black history is forever. It's not just 1 month.
365.
Right. So can you repeat that question again, Miss Lee?
Yes, ma'am. What do you feel, is the downfall of people of color when it comes to financial literacy and generational wealth?
So I definitely agree with everything that Ms. Tamika just stated, as far as with the downfall. I also think the downfall is lack of willingness, lack of care. I feel like a lot of times in this day and age, people just settle and just go with the flow of what's going on instead of thinking about what's really going on. Having their own mind, because this society, this day, I'm getting tongue tied, y'all. Really lacks their own mind. They just going along with the flow instead of being leaders. Back then we had leaders, and we still have leaders today, but we have a lot of followers these days.
Yes.
So I believe that is definitely one of the problems that we're having within our culture and the world, period. We need you to stand up and lead. So stand up for your house, for your family, and learn what you need to learn. Let your little Black boys, little Black brown girls understand and know the importance of how to handle money, how to use an ATM card, how to count money. All of this stuff is very important, and I really don't see people teaching their families
money management, bank accounts, credit.
Right. All of that is important.
You say, girl, you are speaking the truth tonight.
We all speak the All right. So, Miss B, what about you?
Yes, I agree with both of y'all. Everything else, it is 100% true. I think basically piggybacking off of what both of you said, I do believe it's the lack of knowledge. I feel like in the African American household and culture, financial literacy is not taught to your children. A lot of parents are like, you don't even teach your kids how to pay bills or teach them about debt or anything. There's no at-home training about these things. Or credit, how important your credit is. Like, we've talked about this so many times on the show. Nobody is teaching our kids of our generations and things.
And not only does it start at home, not to cut you off, they never taught this in the schools.
No,
they did not.
Right.
They don't tell you. They just send you out here. They don't tell you about bank accounts, CDs, stocks, bonds, how that works. I mean, now, heck, they got Bitcoins and stuff like that. Like,
crypto.
You not taught about this. Black parents, I mean, you even try to mind your business. This grown folks, bills, don't worry about it. If you ain't paying them, don't worry about it. This my business, stay in the child's place type thing. And I feel like you could teach kids these things, sit them down, go over checkbooks, of course, when they're of an age where they can understand, or weekly, just with weekly allowances, start teaching them about finances, how to manage their money and things like that. Like, it's no lessons in the African American household.
I want to say something, not to cut you off, because you there. You know what I'm saying? I feel like in this generation, there are no excuses accepted. I feel like because of the success of how big technology is, these children don't need their parents to teach them anything, okay? Back then, we actually needed that. This generation has the tools everywhere, 24/7 in their face. These kids are learning so much. I mean, it's on a whole nother level. So these kids have Cash App, they have Zelle, the other everything that you can name up on their phone. Do you hear me? These kids are telling people to Cash App their money. They are learning financial literacy, at a young age in this generation. So I disagree with her because, not her, Miss D, I got tongue tied. I disagree with her because they have so many jewels that, you know, we didn't have. Any of us on this live or whoever else did not have. So I feel like Miss D, in my opinion, is talking about from the past. And this generation, you really don't have any excuses because it's literally right there in your face. It's on commercials. It's on signs. It's on social media. It's everywhere. And these kids have connections to all of this. So I feel like in this generation, these kids have a bigger chance to learn and win as long as they guide it and they're following in the right directions, if that makes sense.
Well, to
Okay.
piggyback off of you, I don't include this generation into that question because I feel like this generation is already changing things because this generation has already, a lot of this generation are already young entrepreneurs, bigger than their own, basically their generation. They're creating generational wealth better than their parents. This generation is more financial literacy. I mean, heck, this generation has more better customer service than the older generation and everything. Like, these young kids are out here getting it. They are more motivated.
What do you mean they have better customer service? Because I don't know about that one.
When I go to these restaurants and stuff, I usually get better customer service from a lot of these younger kids than I get from people my own age or older. They're yes, ma'am, and they make sure extra napkins, condiments, their service.
Now, I'm gonna be honest. I haven't seen any.
I don't get that thing.
No, I
haven't
These
seen.
young
They don't
people
even
are
believe
very
in respect
disrespectful. I don't
Everything for them
receive
is
that from
about
the young people.
a coin, a dollar. It is. I'm gonna have to disagree with that too. But that is her own experience. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
right. And I also
want
wanted to speak on Ms. Tamika when you stated that, you know, this young generation don't need their parents. Because it is the information.
No, they need their parents. I didn't say that. Hold on.
Oh, well, what did you say before I made?
No, they need their parents. They need their parents, but I was piggying back off of what Miss D said. Where
right, but what did you say?
They need someone to sit them down and No, they don't. They have all the jewels in front of them. These kids have cash app.
Okay, yeah, that's what you say.
Everything.
So I wanted to say I disagree with that. Yes, they have all the technology, everything that they can possibly get their hands in reach of their hands, but I still feel like sometimes even with that, you still need someone to sit down and explain things to you. So I would just disagree with that on my end a little bit.
This is why I'm gonna say no, ma'am. And this is why of course, if you got the right guidance, let's be honest, your parents are going to talk to you about your Cash App, your Zelle, you know, your prepaid card, whatever. Of course, you're going to gain extra knowledge. But these kids are so smart in using this technology. I think, Ms. Danielle, you didn't misconstrue because you agreed with what I said to an extent, but you didn't. What I'm saying is these kids have so many jewels and they're so smart because of these apps. Are y'all getting what I'm saying now?
Yeah.
I'm basically saying they don't need someone to sit them down. They have the jewels. They are smart as hell. And they're literally, I'm not even trying to be funny. These kids know how to work things more than adults. Literally.
No, what I'm saying, I agree, but what I'm saying, even with all that, doesn't mean that you know everything or that you don't need that.
No, that's not what I was saying. I
know that's not what you're saying, but what I'm saying is that I still feel like
you definitely still need the knowledge of, I'm gonna say, the right parents, the guidance.
Or whoever.
How to manage them funds and stuff and all that.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. How can an adult tell you how to manage money and they don't even know how themselves? You preaching something that you're not even doing. Not. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. You can finish.
No, I was just gonna say, you can't sit around and preach to these kids on something that you're not doing. That's one thing that I've never respected. I'm not going to preach anything to any of my nieces and nephews that I'm not doing. Okay. I just feel like set an example before you start preaching. That's just all I had to say. Shania, go ahead.
Right.
So I wanted to piggyback off what Ms. D said in regards to I forgot how you worded it, but there is a lot of secrecy when it comes to bills being paid and et cetera, et cetera. But I also think it's picking off what Ms. Tamika said, because I feel like if they're not managing their money correctly, that's more than likely why they were saying it's grown folks' business, stay out of it. I feel like that was because they were not managing their money correctly. They don't have a savings or something to fall back on in case of emergency. So it was very fight or flight when it came to finances in Black cultures and communities, because you're working your hours, you're working overtime, trying to stay afloat, because you're I feel like the system has been against the Black culture since the very beginning, slavery. I definitely feel that way. Right. But I feel like sometimes the Black culture, the Black community is okay with being okay, meaning that if there's nothing, if they're okay and they're staying afloat and they are getting by, that's okay with them, because society has taught them that that is okay. So why fix something that in their minds is not broken?
Exactly.
I would also like to say there is a downfall, because a lot of people aren't understanding debt to income ratios. No one is teaching them that you have this debt, you have to have some income to pay it off. No one is explaining any of that. I feel like, also too, in regards to, owning land or property, or renting instead of owning instead of renting, whatever, it can be an uphill battle already, because the way the odds are stacked against the Black culture and community, simply because they're Black, because we've came far from slavery, but we really haven't came very far from slavery, if that makes sense. So some people don't even try, because it's like they already feel defeated. They feel like they're not going to get anywhere, and that is a problem.
Exactly. They feel
Can I say something?
Yes.
They feel like let's just use the term. They feel like the white man is already going to knock them down, or going to not allow them to achieve what they want to achieve, and they're going to have to keep fighting and getting rejected and fight and get rejected. So they're like, well, let me just conform to what I know and stay there.
Keep my head down and keep moving.
Exactly.
I do have something to say.
Good.
I just feel like excuses, again, are overrated in this generation. I feel like the Black culture constantly wants to throw in the white man, slavery. Please stop. And I'm not being rude, okay? I know our ancestors went through a lot. We don't need to talk about all that. I feel like when our Black, African Americans, when are they going to say, okay, we cannot keep throwing out the slavery card. We cannot keep talking about the white man. You're losing. You know why? Because you keep talking about the white man. Please stop, okay? Let's leave the white man out of this. Let's take a stand, and let's create something that's for the African American culture.
I agree with you. I do. But at the same time, you can't leave the white man out of that, because the white man is going to still try to interfere in it. So you cannot not leave the white man out.
Let's be honest. Like Shania said.
So let's be real on that.
Hold on. It's not that I'm not being real, baby. Look at me. I'm
no.
Okay.
I'll tell you that be real, but let's be real. That's no ever leaving the white man out of the equation. You're trying to achieve something.
It's really wrong. Okay. So what I was saying,
and that's the term that we know that people use.
So like Shania just stated, slavery is over, but it's really not over. We get it. But when do you stop throwing everything as the Black culture? When do you stop throwing everything on the white man and slavery? Do anybody know?
I respect it. I think it has to stop, agree
because
with you.
Let me tell you why real quick. It has to stop because while you are constantly talking about everything the white man did to us, talk about slavery, blaming the white man, you are now losing. Every second, every minute that you are speaking on that, you are losing out from gaining and winning with the African-American Black culture. You're not building a foundation. You're still stuck in the past, and you're not elevating and growing. This interview that I just watched 2 days ago, it was a white man. He did an interview. A lot of Black people or African-Americans, however you want to name it, minorities, went off. They commented. It was horrible. They was like, he was disrespectful. He had the upper hand in life, First of all, he's a millionaire. He did have the upper hand because, one, he's white. Two, he's rich and successful. But what he said was not a lie, and I did not feel any type of way as an African American. He said that the interviewer asked him, why is the African American culture not successful, winning, whatever you want to put it? And he said, because they always go against each other, they're killing each other, and they're always blaming everybody for slavery. They're not trying to build their own foundation and start somewhere. It's basically with the African American culture, it's everybody else's fault but them. They're not talking about their lack of education. They're not talking about that we're killing each other. They're not talking about the competition that we give each other, the hard times that we give each other. Stop blaming other people and look within ourselves as African Americans and see what we're doing wrong that we need to do better in. That's all I'm saying.
I can respect that. I can respect that.
Yeah, I can respect that viewpoint.
I feel like there is, and I can also say that a lot of times, because of slavery, the Black culture feels like everything should be handed.
That is true. That is very
handed to them, because we went through like there's no taking away from what the Black community culture.
Yeah, you can never take that away.
Take that away. However, a lot of Black people in the community feel as if a lot of things should be handed to them. For instance, there's a lot of people that would rather lay up and not work and collect all the benefits possible and have no drive, no type of anything, because they're complacent. They're okay with staying stagnant.
Oh my goodness, can you please say that? And honestly, I'm not even going to put that on a race. I'm going to put that on every culture.
Yeah, of course, y'all ladies know I completely agree with that, Miss Lee. You know, personally, I completely agree. But to get y'all to thinking, are they really wrong for wanting to stay stagnant and receive those benefits or whatever they're doing? Are they really wrong?
I'm going to say this real quick because I don't want to get into that. That's a different topic. But what I'm going to say is, if you feel you're right for getting the assistance and staying on it and staying stagnant, that's your choice. If you feel like you're wrong and you had to get off of it and elevate it, do what's best for you. I'm going to just say that because if I go deeper into it, we're going to be here all night.
I think I was just more so trying to show.
I agree with people as a people, us trying to get up out from anyone's shadow and building our own and accomplishing our own. But I just have to say that are they really wrong for wanting to stay and conform to what they know or whatever, you know?
Well, in regards to elevating and to breaking these generational curses and learning financial literacy and generational wealth, I do feel like they can be wrong in that sense, because, you know, we're talking about the Black culture not staying stagnant.
Right. And
moving
you know,
forward.
But look at this another thing. Of course, I agree. But I just thought of another side question that someone may ask. Which they probably doing extra stuff that they shouldn't be doing. But a lot of people are making bank off of conforming to them living off the government and living pretty wealthy.
No, you're not.
Just saying.
No, you're not. No, you're not. Where are you at? Where are you at? Where are your kids at? Huh? Where's the bank account?
Okay, so the ones that probably probably doing other things that they shouldn't be doing, and they actually are living a lavish life, is what I'm saying.
No,
they're probably
I disagree.
But
what lavish life are you living? Literally. Let's stop. Let's
in their eyes, they are.
No, we're not talking about in our eyes, they're blind. Like,
but I'm gonna tune in on that.
That's just
even the ones that are getting over, who are getting thousands of dollars in checks from the government and EBT and stuff like that a month, and you only paying or you getting housing for free, I still feel like you're wrong, because in their eyes they're getting over on the system and the government, but in all honesty and all actuality, you're basically still enslaved, because at the end of the day, the government has control over what you didn't want the white man over you or having control of your life, and you think you're winning. No, they're actually winning, because at any day they have you conformed, they have you stagnant, they have you dependent on that money, and that's where they want you, because at any goddamn day they can turn that off on you and take it away. And where are you going to be? You're going to be sitting there looking stupid with nothing, because you didn't want to level up, you didn't want to grow, you didn't want to become empowered or continue to grow and get your own at the same time. Instead, you decide to stay there and be dependent. So no, you're wrong, because you're having somebody control your whole entire life. And if you have children, basically at that point, they also have control over your life and theirs.
Okay, I can respect it.
Very well said.
I think that also goes into play of the wokeness of the Black community. That's used a lot, how they're woke. I get so tired of hearing how they're woke, but like you just said, Ms. D, they're still dependent on the same people that they're supposedly not wanting anything to do with.
Exactly.
Right. And I just laugh because, look, if you see this live and you woke, continue.
Of course, no disrespect. No disrespect. Everyone has their own opinion.
I threw it up. Trust me.
Some people woke, but they still got a little sleep.
If you woke, that's what's up. But stop, like Miss Lee said, stop with all the fake woke and let's really wake up for real.
Right. Exactly.
They woke with that one eye still closed a little bit.
Ms. D, we're going to go ahead and get into the third question. We have no comments right now. And I just want to say, before we get into the third comment, I'm going to share this every day for like 2 weeks, this live, because it really needs to be spoken upon. It really needs to be talked about. And we really need to open these doors for all of us to win. And I feel like, whether you're watching this live from the side view, whether you watch it later, whether you watch it on YouTube, I don't care. Just watch it, just share and learn from it. All right. Let's get into the third question.
Okay, third question is, why is it that the Black community is quick to support others, but not our own? The claims are the prices are too high, or it's always a complaint.
All right. I'll go ahead and just get straight to the point. This won't be a long one. I feel like, to me, for you, Miss Danielle, you there?
I think she got kicked
out. Miss Danielle, you there?
Hey, Miss Scott.
Okay.
Hello.
So I'm going to get straight to it. Hey, sis. So because this topic is so good and it's so deep tonight, I want to get straight to it. I feel like if you have a bad experience, okay, she there. Okay. Let's see.
She coming in.
Okay, she in. Okay.
There she go.
Yes, sis, we back, baby. We back. Yes. So, Miss Lee, you there, baby? Is she
Sorry,
here?
y'all. We back and I'm hitting buttons.
Miss Shania here? Miss Shania, we can't hear you.
She's here. She just had to step away.
Okay. All right. So, like I was saying, in regards to this question, if you want to read that one more time.
Yes. All right. Why is it the Black community is quick to support others, but not our own? The claims are the prices are too high, or it's always a complaint.
So, I feel like, me personally, and it's going to be short and straight to the point. One, we are one, okay? Whether y'all want to believe it or not, we are one. The African American culture, we are one. Y'all need to stop competing. Y'all need to stop competing with each other. Y'all need to stop thinking everything is about bashing each other. If you have a bad experience with a Black business, you do not have to go put it on social media or spread it. You can literally take that experience and say, that's not my environment. I was not happy with my service. I'm not going back. Instead, you guys complain about the prices, you bash each other, and then it's like, okay, so who gonna win? If y'all bashing each other and y'all talk about each other 24/7 and it's never good, it's always bad blood, how can we win as one? Can anybody answer that? We cannot win, because all y'all keep doing is looking for any little thing to bash another Black business. It's not okay. I do not support it. Regardless of what happens with me and an experience with another Black business owner, especially me being an entrepreneur, I will never bash them, ever. Even if I feel some way, I might vocalize it in my personal space, but I would never publicize that or disrespect anyone. Being an entrepreneur is not easy. Now, it is business owners who are very disrespectful. They have no customer service, lack of knowledge, and they do not know how to be professional. Now, that's something that they will need to work on, and that's how you lose clientele. What I'm saying is let's stick together, stop bashing each other, and if you didn't have a good experience, just don't shop with them again. You don't got to go that far. That's all I'm saying.
Love it, Bill. Miss
You
Seneca.
Repeat
that question again, Miss Steve. Repeat it for the ones in the back.
I got you, girl. I got you. Why is it the Black community is quick to support others but not our own? The claims are the prices are too high, or it's always a complaint.
Well, Miss Seneca answered that really good. I just want to add that I think a main part of it is the fact that we see our own people being unprofessional. And I think a lot of times that automatically draws another Black business owner or another person from engaging, because they already seen the person being unprofessional, or someone previously. It may not even be the person that they're trying to connect with, or that's trying to connect with them. It may be a past experience that they've had, and they like, okay, no, I'm not dealing with any Black-owned businesses or whatever the case may be. I think that's one of the main reasons of why it's that way.
And that sucks. That really does suck. Shana, how you feel?
I feel like there's numerous reasons. However, I feel like one of the main is competition. I feel like it's a lot of competition. It's a lot of what is the word? Popularity contest. It's a lot of I'll support this business because this person is popular, but this business that they're not as known, so I'm not really going to deal with them. I know if I share this, I'm going to get more interaction because this person is popular. That's very common in the Black community. I've witnessed it several times. It's honestly pretty sad.
Right.
Also, there's no respect. There's no respect put on businesses. It's always, oh, I see you in your little business. I see you in what you're doing. It's little. It's this. They're never putting any type of respect or any type of positivity. It's always negative. And I think that is a really big problem, because we should all want to see each other win. There is money out here for everyone. There is an area, a lane for everybody. And no one sees it that way. They're seeing it as, once again, fight or flight. As the Black community, we have to get away from the fight or flight. We can come together and win. Why do we not have a big old complex with a whole bunch of Black-owned businesses? Because the arrogance, the fight or flight mentality, and the competition and popularity contest breaks us apart.
Right. Exactly. Miss D, how do you feel?
That was very well spoken, Miss Lee.
Thank you.
All of y'all hit the nail right on the head. I'm gonna add in, it's also egos on top of that, because a lot of Black businesses feel like just because they feel like they're not giving somebody something for free or anything like that, they're all out for themselves. You hear a lot of Black business owners tell people, oh, well, I'm not gonna give them no tips, or why should I give them if you not, or you gonna have to pay for that information, instead of willingly giving people information to help build them up or so they can become more successful.
And dropping those jewels,
it's like, and they can find that out themselves. So I mean, for real, you're not really telling them much if they can't honestly find out their own selves.
And you know what else is crazy?
I disagree, Miss Danielle.
They might not find it out right away, or they might not find it out as quickly as versus you telling them, but they'll eventually find them information out. So just give them the information.
I still disagree. That's not true. You have to understand that even us being a business and entrepreneur, yes, we know a lot, but we're still growing and learning. If somebody can help another business owner, or not even a business owner, just another African American win, gain and give them that knowledge for them to gain and take with them in the real world, do it. Because you gotta understand, we don't know everything. And that's okay to be inspired by another entrepreneur, another African American.
I know what you're saying, but I was asking the question in regards to someone having to pay, not us finding out information.
But they shouldn't have to. They shouldn't have to.
And another issue with a lot of Black people is also that point right there. Because yes, you can find out on your own, but it's going to take you time, trial and error and things like that. And a lot of Black people feel like, well, I did it on my own. I didn't have that knowledge or jewels. I had to figure that out on my own. They can too. But why does it have to be like that? Why can't you, being a success and being in the point you are, want to see somebody else shine? There's a lot of Black people who do their own business, or their best friend like that. Your best friend comes to you and wants to start a business, and it don't even have to be the same field as you or anything, and Black people will still, I'm not giving her the jewels. They can get it on their own.
And
Can I go?
And see, a lot of black people feel like, no, I'm not about to drop these jewels on you, because one, I bust my, excuse my language, I worked hard, and I feel like me giving you this for free is free game. I'm not okay with it. I feel like to each his own. If you feel like, you know, I'm gonna charge you for this information, if that person really wants the information, they'll pay. Me personally, I feel like if we are not gonna work together to win, what is the point?
And before you go, Shana, I just want to say one more thing to piggyback off what you were saying about the popularity. It's popularity, and I also feel like it's a bandwagon thing. The Black community has an issue with bandwagoning. If one person is bashing this Black business, all of a sudden everybody else is following suit and bashing them as well. Like it's a trend. It's just like if they're supporting that person, everybody wants to bandwagon and support that business. But as soon as somebody bashes them, it's a bandwagon effect as well. Now we're all bashing them together. It's a lot of negativity and bandwagon.
I would never do that. I could never be a follower. Okay, like even in my whole life, I could never be a follower. And let me tell you why. Because when you stand on your own and you think for yourself, it's nothing that no one else can tell you. And I feel like just because everybody's following a wagon, like say one person sells food, right? And they're like, oh, I'm going to go over here. But you know, Raw Cafe also have food services. Oh, well, I'm not going to go over here because I support them and Raw Cafe over here. You can still support both. Why do you have to be so negative about everything? Like, I don't get it. I can eat here and I can eat there. Okay, I can eat Raw Cafe and I can eat another restaurant. I can shop over here and get some gear from here, and I can get some gear from over here. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't.
So I would like to piggyback off of what Ms. D stated. I definitely feel like it kind of all goes back to, as far as sharing knowledge, to the fight or flight method. I feel like a lot of people that have made it and are successful entrepreneurs, they struggled. Okay, they struggled. Let's be honest, because not a lot of people are sharing this knowledge. So they struggled to get this knowledge to get them into a place where they can be successful and their business is successful. But I feel like the Black culture is stuck on struggle, if that makes sense. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm saying they're stuck on struggle. Like,
that's true.
They're stuck on struggle in the fight or flight mode. Like, why would I want to give what I worked hard for to someone for free, even though that could help someone that was in the same position as me? And they also get that ego once they become more successful with their financials, and their business becomes, more successful. They have an ego where I'm not giving them nothing. For what? They become big-headed and feel like they don't need to share the knowledge. I also would like to share.
And that's what me and Miss Scott was talking about earlier. We were talking about how people have to remember to remain humble. Like you just said tonight, even if you come up and you start making hundreds to millions, remember where you started, remember where you come from. And I feel like, Shania, what you just said was very true.
And I'm going to piggyback off of that. You're right. The Black people is in that whole struggle mentality, not only just in a business mindset. It's a little off topic, but I mean, look at Black parents, how they teach their kid. Oh, instead of giving their kid stuff, I'm going to teach them the struggle. I had to go through the struggle. I'm going to teach them the struggle and everything like that. Like a lot of parents feel like because they struggled, they're going to teach their kid that same thing with that same mentality. I can't give them this.
Okay.
They got to learn this. I'm not giving them that.
Learn the hard
They gotta
way.
learn the struggle. They gotta learn it the hard. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Me personally, I feel like to each his own. Shout out,
Right.
first of all, shout out to all the beautiful parents out here, kings and queens, the African Americans. Okay, you're doing it. Keep doing it. Okay. I feel like first of all, there is beauty in struggle. I've always felt that way. Okay. I feel like it's okay to make your kids work for things, but I do not feel like it's okay to make the struggle. Learn the difference. All right.
Me and Miss Danielle just talked about this as well.
We definitely just talked about that
Learn the
earlier,
difference.
me and Miss Lee.
Learn the
And
difference.
I definitely agree with the statement that you stated, Miss Tamika. I'm sorry, I got sidetracked there. But I definitely agree with that statement. You know, it's a big difference between someone struggling and doing the hard work.
I would also just like to share one more thing before we move on to our next question. In regards to customer service with Black-owned businesses, I have witnessed quite a few times, and I'm going to take this to the nail salon, okay? I don't do it no more. I do my press-ons, but I'm going to say this. I've noticed where people of other descents, customer service is awful. They cuss at them. They're overcharging. The whole experience is very unpleasant. But we still continue to go there and we receive those services, right? And then a Black-owned business has a nail salon and one of the nails falls off or something or lifts a little bit. We go crazy. I mean, absolutely crazy. I want my money back. She can't do nails. She need to be shut down. She ain't got no certificates. Don't shop with her. And screenshots of the messages, and et cetera, et cetera.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting.
Why do we want to continuously degrade each other, put each other down? It's so sad. It honestly is very sad to see, but it's become a trend, a new normal, and I don't know why.
I love what you just said. I don't respect it. I will never do that. I just feel like it's like y'all can go to, it doesn't matter what store, Target, McDonald's, like you said, to get your nails done by whatever, these Chinese people or whatever, whoever you go to, but you can't go support a Black business nail salon. You can't go out here. Yeah, you can't. Oh, really? It's too much. Or, oh, I had to wait. You got the nerve to talk about the wait. You can go somewhere else to wait in line at Target, at Walmart, at the Chinese nail salon, anywhere. How long? They telling you an hour and you sitting there texting, talking about some, okay, like, stop playing. For real, stop.
People would rather go to Target and spend $20 for something instead of shopping with the Black business owner, and it's $10, and it's sad.
Exactly. And I want to say something, and this goes out to everybody who see this, whether it's tonight on live, on YouTube, whatever. If you have friends and family who are entrepreneurs and they are African American, you need to be, I don't care what type of support it is, word of mouth, shopping with them, spreading the news. It doesn't matter what it is. You need to be telling people to book them, okay? Like, I literally just tagged my cousin, H. Lavish. What she's doing wonderful. Shout out to you.
Yes, shout out to her.
Yeah, we need our bundles. Kicking around, need our bundles, baby.
I need some bundles now.
Frontals, I'm coming from.
Yes. But what I was saying in regards to this is, if you know somebody's looking for something and you know a Black business or entrepreneur has that, why are you not referring people to them? I just referred somebody to her like an hour ago and tagged her name and was like, go shop with her. Even if you can't always make a purchase with them, promote them. Put their business out there. It's not going to hurt you. What are
and
you
stop
losing?
asking
You're
for discounts.
The Black culture gain.
Yes,
from this.
asking for discounts and money
Stop
off.
asking
Please
for them
pay the
discounts.
price.
And everything is not about a discount, okay? Because I'm gonna be honest, especially if you're African American and these people know you, whether you're their friend, family, whoever. 9 times out of 10, they gonna go ahead and give you a discount. Let's be honest. They gonna be like, I got you. 9 times out of 10, they got you. But stop demanding and crossing boundaries to demand a discount. That's not how it works. Because the same way that they work hard for these products, they make these purchases, they out here getting inventory together, they out here getting their merch together. That stuff costs. Okay?
It does.
It costs.
It does.
So just keep that in mind. And I feel like that question was a real one. What's the fourth question? Let's see. Naj got some comments. Hold on. Naj got some comments.
Yes.
Yes, let's get to it. All right. So Miss Scott stated that Shania and Sis is back, and then she said, yes, making social media posts is unnecessary. Cut it the fuck out. I agree.
Yes.
She also said we have a tendency of wanting to have a one-up on the next. Some people feel entitled because we're skin folk. Pay my price like you'll do the next. We hold each other to impossible standards that you don't hold other businesses to.
Yes. 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 Say it.
She also said, let's see.
She also said everyone should be teachable.
Yeah.
And she made a comment based off what you and Miss Tamika was saying, Miss D. She called it crab in the barrel mentality.
Yes.
Which I do definitely agree.
I agree.
She also said it's a lot of following and clout chasing, and it's sick.
And she also ended it with stating a lot of people take the easy way out and everything instead of doing the hard work. Yes.
Right.
Okay. So let's go ahead and get into the fourth question. Thank you, Miss Scott. Everything you said was right on it. Right on it.
All right. Is it my turn, Miss D?
Yes, I think.
All right. So the fourth question is, why hasn't it been instilled in our culture to own land and property instead of working on another's?
I'm going to go ahead and get to this one real quick. We're going to keep the order rolling. I feel like it hasn't been instilled because starting back then from slavery, where, education was taken from my ancestors, it started back when. I feel like it hasn't been instilled because a lot of people lack it. They don't know anything about it. Let's be honest. The Black culture barely knows anything about credit. They don't know anything about money management. They don't know anything about financial literacy. They don't know a lot. They're lacking knowledge. Let's just be honest.
Or if they have it, they're gatekeepers.
Yeah, I feel like period, point blank, that's the answer. It's a lack of knowledge, period.
I agree.
I'm going to jump in. I also think it comes with the teaching, where we're generational, coming from slavery. We're actually taught to work on other people's lands and stuff like that. Like,
say it, Miss D.
Personally, my grandmother, she was actually forced, to work on other person, back in that time, especially living in poverty. They were poverty.
You said a other person. What you mean?
Other race, like a white person's land and stuff like that.
During your grandma's age, they still were picking cotton and etc. So let's just put it out.
It was free time, but they was free.
But I know, but they still picked cotton, whether it was free time.
She worked on the tobacco farm. She was forced to basically go pick tobacco on somebody else's farm. But it basically goes to the generations. It's also being taught and instilled to that was being taught to you had to work on somebody else's farm or somebody else's land instead of your own.
Correct. Right. Thank you, Ms. D. How you feel, Ms. Danielle?
I agree with everything y'all stated, So, I mean, y'all done said it all as far as for that question. And then we basically answered that as well previously.
Yeah, I agree.
Ms. Lee, how you feel?
I agree with everything y'all stated. And I feel like we kind of touched base on that a little bit earlier with all of our other responses.
All right. Go ahead.
Join in on that. Also, is how can we work on our own land when we aren't even buying our own land?
Right.
Very true. How can we buy our own land if we're not saving any money to buy our land?
Also, how are we going to save any money if we don't know money management?
And how are we going to save money? I got a train car. I was trying to keep the train going. So ignore what I was about to say.
How are we going to save any money if we're not working?
You can't say Section 8 vouchers and food stamps.
Okay, is there a way we can do that? Because I would love to apply and start stacking that up.
What you say, Miss D?
She said we can't say Section 8
vouchers and food stamps.
Can't say
I
Section
guess
8
you can save them a little bit.
Put it out here and say EBT should be unlimited for life for every race. I said it. I said it. I said it.
Tamika Wright for president, y'all.
And all income.
We need a campaign manager.
Okay.
I'm gonna go start designing the campaign signs now.
Clearly, Miss Tamika Wright for president, y'all.
Okay. Miss Tamika. RA. All right, so let's get into the last question of the night, everyone. Let's do this.
All right, let's do it.
Question. Miss Danielle, you there? Something happened there. We'll figure it out.
Final question is, why is financial literacy non-existent in African American households?
I'm gonna get straight to this one. It's non-existent
because
a lot of people in the Black culture, they are not trying to change the scenario.
Right.
They are okay with being stagnant, and they are not trying to make a change. Everything with the Black culture is excuses, and it's not really, it's not given, I'm trying. It's not given, I want more. It's not given, let's do better. It's not given, well, I really don't know what to say. It's just not given. Give more. Like, give me something to start with. I feel like the Black culture is not given. Lack of knowledge. Stop making excuses. Stop blaming the white man. Stop making excuses. Stop blaming your old, excuse me, not to disrespect you, the old elderly generation. Let it go. We ain't worried about what they didn't teach us. We're trying to elevate on what we teaching ourselves and what we learning in this generation. I also feel like these kids are very smart in this generation. They're actually learning more than their parents. Maybe they will actually start their generational wealth. I feel like it shouldn't be that way, though. It should always be you starting the wealth for, you know, your kids or the kids in the family. I just feel like it's not instilled because, one, there's no education. From back to slavery, there was no education about it. I feel like now that we're here, it starts with us. So stop. What are we gonna do? That's how I feel.
Okay.
What are we gonna do, y'all? I mean, come on. Like, don't y'all, we need this. All right, Miss D, go ahead.
I'm gonna repeat the question. Gonna get back with us now.
Hey, girl.
So the question is, why is financial literacy non-existent in African American households?
We're talking about now, Naj. That's a good question. But honestly, your viewpoint can go either way, because like I just said, back then it wasn't instilled. They didn't have that, but now it's still not being instilled. So it's like, what the like? Come on.
But back then, it wasn't going to be instilled because it was forbidden. So that was completely out of the question. That wasn't going to be happening.
Right, which is what hold on, which is what I was just saying when I said it wasn't accessible. It wasn't like it was nothing. Yeah, they didn't have it. They didn't know. But what about the ones who did know? Like Ms. D said, when back then, because a lot of y'all had this chance to really learn this and educate yourself, and y'all didn't. Look at our parents; they didn't educate us on any of this, and they had access to this. Let's make it clear.
Okay, back then, okay, when you keep saying back then, how far are you going? And the only reason I'm asking, someone else may be asking, hold on, let me finish talking. Someone else may be asking the same question, because you keep saying back then. But back then, even after slavery we had, of course, the Jim Crow laws, other things that were going on. So still at that moment, that was not being thought of. So how far back then are you stating when you stated back then? I was because people are probably wanting to know how far back then are you stating that we are talking about.
Like your grandma, great grandma, it was accessible in those generations.
Okay, okay. So let's just clarify that.
Well, we only can go back as far as Miss Danielle, we can only go back as far as we know. Now, we don't know further than that. So when you ask how far back, ma'am, you want to be talking about.
Y'all keep saying back then. So clarify what you say back then.
Ma'am.
But I believe
so people that are watching, start from your grandma's age, okay, your granddad's, okay. That's start from there.
Yeah, because
Or maybe not even that, because some people's grandparents are much older and still was past that age. So it depends on the age of the grandparents. So,
well, we can't guess the age of these elderlies. Miss Danielle, we're not doing it. We're not
saying. Clarify what you're saying when you mean back then, because some people may be like, hold up, back then.
Well, we know back then, but I'm going to phone in on this question here. So I think it's non-existent in the Black African-American home, Piggy, like Miss Wright said, Tamika said. It's not being taught at all. It's not being in the household for the older generations. Nobody's teaching it. It's more privacy. It's don't nobody know it, period. They're not trying to learn it. This generation, I think, is not only because they don't know it, but I feel like parents, this generation, not all, but a lot of them, their focus isn't even on financial literacy. It's more on turning up and doing other things. And a lot of it isn't even on their children at all.
Okay.
To care about teaching literacy and things. They have other focuses, not their child or other things that they want to do. They want to live a facade of luxury life, but not actually get those means to it. They're teaching how to fake it till you make it.
Okay.
I can respect it. I can respect that. However, I would also like to say that I don't think it's always just the turn up aspect of it. I think it's also the side of it where I done lost my train of thought trying to hold it. I'm sorry. But basically what I was going to say is it's not just the turn up aspect. I think is a lot of times they're just living their day to day. They're just trying to make it to the next day. And I feel like a lot of, and I'm going to say new generation, parents are not open to have that conversation simply because they don't know, they don't have that knowledge to share, or they're not wanting to share. I feel like if we go back a generation, it was more so with the parents not telling the kids, it was more so, you're not going to be better than me. I'm struggling. You're going to struggle too. I feel like that, like I've stated before, it's always a struggle mentality. It's fight or flight and it's struggle mentality. It plays into a lot of the issues that the Black culture community is having because we don't want each other to be better than the next person. Especially like a lot of parents feel like, okay, why is my child more successful than me? And that's a problem because why is that? Why are we hating? Why are we not wanting our kids to do better than us?
And I want to say something. Those are the sick parents that need healing.
Right.
And it's nothing we can do to help you. So I feel like if your parents are the jealous type and they haven't gave you that guidance or that real, parenting love or whatever, then you just need to step up and change the scenario and be the change in your family.
Mm-hmm.
For the people who did have the good guidance and their parents don't, treat them as such, that's a blessing. So you were actually blessed, like Shania said, you had that knowledge and y'all get what I'm saying.
Also, I'm going to say one more thing, if y'all don't mind. I just wanted to also touch on a lot of times some of those parents ruined those kids' credit before they were able to access their credit themselves.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And I also want to speak on it. I feel like Black parents have to stop using that excuse on if they didn't want to teach their kids financial literacy because they didn't have that knowledge or they didn't know. Something is better than nothing because you're not teaching them nothing. At least if you teach them, they know what you did, like you did wrong. They know not to do. As far as you not saying nothing, they're going out into this world with nothing. They don't know what to do and they don't even know the what nots on how to maneuver and end up making the same mistakes because they had absolutely nothing.
Right, but I have something to say. When you say nothing, Miss D,
right? You were strong on that nothing. I mean, you seem like you had some frustration and anger in that.
Right, she did.
You can't put it out to the viewers here because it was pretty strong.
She already had spoken on it, but she was very aggressive because that was from her experience. But when she say nothing, I say again, In this generation, there should be nothing that you're lacking because the technology is so severe out here. And also, when you say nothing, don't y'all think we need to take ownership as African Americans that we could have also educated ourselves on these things? I take full ownership because I feel like you can't keep pointing a finger on where you were not taught, on what you did not open your mind.
I say this day and age.
Hold on, Miss Danielle. What you did not open your mind to learning. Let's just be honest. You know what I'm saying?
This day and age, yes, I think you definitely should be taking accountability.
I feel like these kids today are definitely different than the last generation, my generation, because these kids are TikTok stars. They're buying homes in stocks and crypto, and they're teaching the old folks how to, invest and so forth. So I feel like there are some kids in this new generation that are very educated, and they're taking their lives into their own hands. And a lot of what I've been noticing is society is having a problem with it because they're saying that these kids are too grown. They're doing too much.
Right.
And why is that? If a child is well liked on TikTok or whatever the case may be, and they're in the creators fund or whatever, and they're able to make money, they're setting their future up. Like, why is that being grown?
Let me tell you why. First of all, they gonna say you grown regardless, right, sis? They been saying it, okay? They gonna say you grown regardless of what generation you in. And I also feel like me and Ms. Scott talked about this a little bit earlier. Anytime you go against the elderly generation and it's not something that they are, in their eyes, what they approve of, period, point blank, you're too grown, you're disrespectful. Period.
Right. Very true.
Period. It is. That's it. That's all.
Miss Scott is in the comments very heavy tonight.
Yeah, let's see what she got to say because this is a serious topic. Miss Danielle, did you want to speak or you pretty much said what you had to say?
I pretty much said what I had to say.
Miss Danielle, are you okay over there? Miss Danielle is going through it. Let's see what Miss Scott got to say before we end tonight.
She said it wasn't a symbol in the 60s or 70s. My grandma is 86 and America was still strict on what they allowed Black people to do. In the generation, they were still raising white babies and being housemaids. A lot of people still didn't know how to read for real.
All right.
Right, which is why I wanted Miss Tamika to clarify what she keeps saying back in the day, because that's something that needs to be. Well, you did after I had to tell you to, because it's different laws and everything. It wasn't like that back in the day. Back then.
Also, it's very important to know our history.
It is. Yeah. It is. But honest, I'm gonna be honest. I'm pretty much done with digging so far into history. Me personally, I'm trying to create, a new history and try to make a way for us, so that we can stop living in the past history so much, and we can have something new to look forward to.
Okay, I can respect that.
I love what you said, but I personally don't feel like anything's wrong with still digging into your history. I feel like
nothing's wrong with it.
They also
dig into your history, everyone. And just to let you know, Miss Danielle wants to dig into her history so much that every other Friday she will be having classes at the library here on Wilson Road.
If you is girl, I'll attend with you. I'll attend.
Whoa! Miss Danielle, you didn't tell me that.
Okay, and Miss Scott said, we need to understand MLK got killed in 68. We can only imagine what it was like back then when a Black people walked into a bank and tried to buy a house or even mention a credit card.
Right, right.
Exactly, sis. Miss Scott, excuse me. Yes, exactly.
He also said, say that, Shania.
Yes,
and
don't everybody library.
What time would unfortunately, it depends. We are working on our relaunch, so Miss Danielle, you might have to let them know that you can't keep those promises, okay?
Now, see, you got my whole step out of the way to get and now you let me down.
And
She also said it's out of the normal and people don't want to learn to respect it. Nothing is going to be the same. I agree.
Exactly, I agree. Me personally, was that the last question of the night, ladies?
Yeah.
Yes.
Me, yes. Come on. Me personally, I just want to say tonight's topic was y'all, when Miss Danielle gets silly, she's sleepy, okay? She's not. I just want to say thank you to everyone for joining us tonight. If you did not see the whole show, please go back, watch it after we end the live. Watch us on YouTube and also www.kickingtheraw.com. Hit our Real Chronicles tab, and you'll see it there also. Okay. I just feel like tonight's show and topic was definitely needed. I'm going to share this every day for the next 2 weeks so that everyone can continue to elevate and win in the African American culture, and we can create something new. Wealth, love, success, and we're all winning together. No competition, and just genuine love. And I feel like stop what you're doing, show respect every day. Being an entrepreneur, just being an African American, we all know it's already hard anyway. Let's start uplifting each other and doing better. If you have a bad experience with a business owner, you don't got to put it out there. Just don't support them no more. And I also feel like definitely get started and get in tune with your wealth. Get in tune with what you need to do to move forward. That's how I feel. And what you ladies have to say before we have to go, but I definitely love tonight's show, and it opened up a lot of thoughts, a lot of different viewpoints, and I'm ready. Like right now I've been down with my health, but like I told y'all at the beginning, me and Miss Lee will be back fully in effect real soon, and I'll be able to tell y'all my testimony, tell y'all everything that happened. But I feel like tonight my team needed me, so I'm here, I'm showing up, and I'm showing out. I am exhausted, but it's okay. How y'all feel, ladies?
I think you done summed it up real nice.
right.
Anything?
Miss Najee Scott said Miss Danielle the braids was laid and slay honey.
Power to the culture.
First of all, I just want to say, baby, it's Black History Month for a couple more days. I'm just saying, I'm just putting it out there. So it's Black History Month. Make sure, you are contacting Miss Danielle for Black History Month. No, all jokes aside, no, for real, because she's big on, learning her history.
Wait, so you really going to the library?
Yeah, she is. But no,
don't get it twisted. Nothing's wrong with the library. The library has great education.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying you really are.
But Miss Tamika is on here making up things about me right now.
Okay. I was confused because I was ready. I was ready to take your class.
Me too. Oh, and Miss Scott said Miss Danielle the braids was laid and slayed, honey.
Yes.
Thank you, Letitia Womack.
Yes, Letitia Womack, she does a great job. Also, I wanted to drop some information real quick. Miss D, y'all seen at the beginning, forgot to tag me. But this is what I wanted to tell y'all about before I end this live, okay? So her name is Kiara, K-I space A-R-A. Go at her, go follow her. So she's having an event. This is tomorrow, okay? Tomorrow. I'm going to drop it in the comments when we get off live, but it's a Black excellence, okay? Financial literacy for the culture, okay? This is tomorrow on 521 Hardy Road, Benton, Virginia, from 2 to 5. She gonna give you all the jewels. Be there, okay?
Be there, be present. Be there, be present.
And I'm gonna drop it. I'm gonna drop it in the comments. I promise you. This is so worth it. This is so worth it. Can y'all see this?
Show up and show out.
So like I said, go at her, go follow her. She gonna get you right. She's also a Black entrepreneur. Shout out to her. And I just feel like, we need to support each other more, and we need to uplift. Now, honestly, it should be no reason why half of you in Roanoke, it's not gonna be there tomorrow from 2 to 5. Okay? Now I'm starting to get hostile because I'm gonna have to.
All right. Be there to the party.
521 Party Road. Okay.
Woo!
But besides that, I just want to say I love y'all. Let's keep working on this Black excellence. Let's keep growing. Let's keep winning and elevating. Honestly, I'm happy to see all my ladies again together. We missed each other deeply, and we'll be back Saturday after next. So, of course, give it to y'all real and raw with the next topic. Okay, viewers' choice. Just send them. If y'all got a specific topic, just join us, send it in the inbox, and we'll most likely touch on it, okay? You ladies got anything before we go?
No, but yes, I do. Thank y'all for all the support. We love y'all.
Yes,
Thank
yes.
you for everything that we do throughout the week. And we will see you, of course, every other Saturday, okay?
Every other Saturday at 10:30. And also, ladies, we cannot go without letting them know that relaunch will be coming soon, baby. I'm trying to tell you. That relaunch, stay tuned. We got some things that y'all don't even know that's about to drop. It was a little setback, but a little setback never hurt nobody, all right? So,
major comeback, baby.
Hashtag kicking it
raw. Hashtag raw. Hashtag
we're on this women.
Good night, y'all. We love y'all. Appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Missy, they already see you all night, okay? All right.